This is the CT Sports Talent Show. My name is Chris Saunders, and I'm pleased to have on two freshman players from the Holy Cross Crusaders. We'll start from the left side, then go to the right side. On the left side, as I mentioned, both of them are freshmen. First, the wide receiver, Deshaun Graves is with me. He has over 5 touchdowns, or has 5 touchdowns, and over 250 yards receiving. Say hello, Graves.
How you guys doing?
And then I've got Nate Kraft with me, who's got 4 touchdowns as a freshman running back. And Nate, say hello.
How you guys doing?
Good, good. I think it's great to be able to have two obviously freshman players from Holy Cross who are big components. And, I'll start with Graves here. I mean, my partner, and I don't know if your parents or anybody were listening, but my partner deemed you the freshman because, in a good way, because of the game you had, the first game, you had three
Yeah.
touchdowns. Obviously, the third one was the go-ahead touchdown against Woodland in OT. That first game, man, I mean, I heard your interview after, and you were talking about just how much fun you had. Take me
Yeah.
into that for a second, if you could.
Um, it was my first game, so I wanted to come into that game with like a lot of, how can I say this? A lot of confidence. I didn't want to be the only freshman and show that I'm scared on the field, going against bigger dudes than me, bigger dudes as
Hmm.
in size and weight. So I just wanted to come up with a lot of confidence and yeah.
I'll go to Nate next. Obviously, with both you and Deshaun being freshmen, I mean, what was kind of the emotions like with you playing in your first varsity game or being a part of the team the first game, that is?
Um, I was just like I was happy to be a part of the team and just help out.
Hmm. Now, as far as with because obviously Woodland being a primetime matchup, I thought that game would have been later on in the season, but it was the first game. I'll
Yeah.
stick with Nate here. Talk to me about kind of just the mentality that went into that first game because there was so much on the line so early.
Um, the whole week, like we had to prepare hard, watching a lot of film, just preparing on defense
Mhm.
for their runs, and yeah.
I'll go to Graves next. I mean, when you were kind of doing what you were early on, and you made your presence known pretty effectively, kind of what you were going to be on the offensive side of the ball. What was your first thought after you got your first touchdown?
My first thought was after my first touchdown, I went to my quarterback and I told him that I was like actually like really shocked to get my actual first touchdown like in varsity. And he was like, you better get used to it because you're gonna be having a lot coming up, like
Mhm.
giving me a lot of motivation and basically stuff like that. Yeah.
I'll stay with Graves here. It's funny because I think a lot of people, if they were to bet on who was going to get the first Holy Cross touchdown, I don't know about you guys, but I thought Campbell was going to be the first guy.
Yeah.
So is that kind of like a little thing that you can pick on Campbell? Like, hey, I was the first one for the first of the season.
Um, I wouldn't say pick on, but it is stuff that I bring up to him sometimes.
Does he get
It
mad?
is. Not really, but I do it to like get on his nerves a little bit.
Yeah, but hey, it's a competitive nature that you guys have, you know.
Yeah.
Now I'll go to Kraft next. Now, with the injury to Dotery, and I think it was right before the Seymour game, if I recall, with him being kind of like he was the starting back early on, and now with him being out and also not being able to kick, you've not only taken the responsibility at the running back position along with Campbell, but you're also doing the kicking duties. Now, are you still kicking?
Yeah.
Are you still perfect as far as point after attempts?
Nah, I think I'm like 6 for 8.
Okay, so still pretty good. You're over what a lot of people would probably be at the high school level. So that's good. So with the responsibility that you have, man, with the Dotery injury, I mean, what was that conversation like with Gene Petrucci or Mullins as far as your responsibility being increased?
Um, they just wanted me to see wanted me to come prepared.
Hmm.
Uh, keep working hard and
Now,
just
as
be
far
ready.
as the prepared aspect, what were some of the things that you were doing to make sure? Because again, being a freshman, you're kind of learning on the fly at the varsity level. So what were you doing?
Um, I was making sure that my footwork was like super clean, and
Hmm.
then I was going over all the plays, watching all of our film to see what I could do to improve.
If you can share, and I'll stay with Nate here, what was some of the things you were picking up on film?
Um, I was just like picking up where most of the open gaps are. I was trying to see where they are most of the time so I could just like so I just know where they are. So
Now, what's your favorite gap? Is it the A gap, the B gap? I mean, again, watching you, I feel like it would be the A gap because you want to go after contact. You just want to bulldoze people. Is that right?
yeah. Yeah, I like contact a lot. So I would say probably the A gap.
Okay. Yeah, see, I kind of figure that because of your running style, head down and just bulldoze people. I'll go to Graves next. As the season progressed, man, what's it
Yeah,
been like for you as the game has, again, not to say you guys are not veterans, but now you've
mm,
gone through more than half the season as we're
yeah.
entering the last 3 games before playoff time, right? Thanksgiving's only a couple weeks away. What's it been like for you your freshman year?
I mean, ever since that first game, a lot of teams been like looking at me more and like been trying to like stop me more, knowing that we have three more wide receivers that are like really good.
Yeah.
So basically, what we've been trying to do is since that game, we've been trying to move me around at a lot of different places to see what the defense of that other team would do,
Mhm.
just so we can have the advantage of that game.
So basically, what you're saying, Graves, is that they put you in the X, the Y, the slot. Have they put you in the backfield too?
Not yet.
Oh,
I
see, that'd
wish.
be. Imagine if they had both of you in the backfield. You got
Yeah,
speed on one side, then you got the bulldozer on the other side. You
yeah,
got to pick one, right?
yeah.
That'd be a 20 personnel danger for a lot of teams. So I'll stay with Graves here really quick. You were talking about kind of the defense kind of focusing a lot on you. When did you notice that they were putting more of a focus on you in their game plan? What game was it?
Um, it was our third game. Our third game against, well, it wasn't Nogi. It was Seymour.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up seeing that their safety ended up coming more towards my side because on film, when I was watching film on them, their safety played more towards like the left middle.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was on the field, I noticed seeing that he was more on my side.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's basically what I saw.
I'll go to Nate next. I guess same question for you as far as what did you pick up anything defensively that teams were doing to you as you started to get more carries and become more of a factor on the offensive side of the ball?
Um, Honestly, I don't think so because like I run like a lot of shallow routes and I'm mostly open on them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really think so.
Okay. Now, another thing that you do that a lot of backs don't do is that you can catch the ball in the backfield effectively and you can also block, which I don't know if you've noticed that, but there's not a lot of running backs at the high school level that can do that effectively. Do you take that as like a pride thing that you can not only run, you can also block and you can catch in the backfield? Do you notice that?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel that you can do that, man? Because that's impressive.
It it just makes me feel good about myself, like more confident
Hmm.
that not a lot of backs could do that, but I can.
Now, I talked to Graves about his first touchdown. When you got your first touchdown, what was your first thought, your first emotion? What was it?
I just feel happy and like I was thinking my linemen like Anthony Shivers
Mm-hmm.
and Ben
Yeah, you
and
got to
yeah,
think the big boys up front. You got to think the offensive linemen
yeah,
because they do the dirty work.
yeah,
Now, I'll go to Graves next. Obviously, with you being a freshman,
Yeah.
Florian and Gray and Campbell, they're the vets. They've been around for a while. Obviously, I've said that Holy Cross has the best wide receiver room in the NVL. How much have they meant to you as far as your growth?
A lot because from what I've seen, we have all like a lot in common.
Yeah.
So usually when we're at school, they try to push me as hard as I can in the weight room on the field. They just
Mm-hmm.
try to make me a better player, like a better player than they are, basically. And they always talk to me about me. When they leave, they want me to always run the school. They just try to motivate me.
Hmm.
And yeah.
Have they ever said, have they given you any comps or any player that they feel like you could be? Have they ever given that name or any mentions to you?
Um, not really. No, not really.
Okay, I was just curious. And now, as far as some of the any particular player, has it been a group of guys that really kind of uplifted you and helped you throughout this season?
It was a group of guys. I'll say Marcus Campbell, Drew Coet, Anthony Shivis,
Mhm.
uh, Ronald, um, and I'll say Dylan Gray.
Okay, good to know. That's good, man. That's awesome that you have the teammates to be able to help you. I'll
Yeah,
go with Nate here. As the season's, as I mentioned before, kind of winding down, only a couple games remaining. Obviously, Thanksgiving, the annual Holy Cross Wokie game on Turkey Day. What's the mindset for this Holy Cross team? As you guys currently are, if I recall, sixth in Class M, and it really becomes now where you got to win every game, not only to stay in the playoff race, but also make sure that maybe you can creep up and get a home game if some things go your way. What's your mindset?
I mean, like the whole team just gotta work hard.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta focus on one game at a time
Mm-hmm.
and just play their game.
What is your has your mindset changed, Nate? As obviously the first game you got emotions and whatnot, or are you kind of more just like even keeled? Like, does anything phase you, or do you just do your thing and that's it?
Uh, when I go out there, I just try to do my best, help the team best as possible. And yeah,
Great, same thing, same question for you.
like you said, yeah, like the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Is there any mindset that you have going into every game, or is it the same thing every time?
My mindset every game is to, well, since like I said, I'm going against bigger people. My mindset is to just
Mm-hmm.
stay calm, stay focused, do what I have to do on the field, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like if I just keep that mindset, I'll be good every game.
No, that's a good mindset for sure. Guys, I really appreciate you coming on. One more question, really quick, for the both of you. I'll go to Nate next. Whenever the season ends for Holy Cross, quarter, semi champ, whatever it uh, is there any memory of your freshman year through the 8+ weeks that you'd like to share that you've really enjoyed thus far?
um, I mean,
It could be multiple if you've got multiple. It's okay.
probably when I scored my first touchdown,
Mm-hmm.
everybody was like congratulating me. They were happy for me, like the whole team, like Marcus, Juice, Anthony.
No, who's Juice? Is that Gray?
That's Drew Colette.
Oh, okay. I didn't know his nickname was Juice.
Yeah, we call him Juice.
Yeah, why is that? I'm curious.
To be honest, we just heard people calling him that, so we just been going along with it.
Hey, good enough. Good enough. Great. Same question for you.
Um, Honestly, I would say the career game, the career academy game.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I've been hearing all that week. I was hearing that the running back was huge, big, and that game. My purpose was just to show that you don't have to be the biggest person to tackle him.
Mm-hmm.
So one play, I met him in the hole and I stopped him for what, a third down loss,
Mm-hmm.
going into give us the possession of the ball. So yeah,
Yeah, you guys definitely showed them that game after being down. What was it, 10-0, whatever it was? You guys came roaring back and scored
yeah,
35 points unanswered, I think, at one point or something like that. But anywho, guys, I appreciate you both coming on. You guys have had great freshman years. Continue doing what you're doing, and I look forward to being able to see you guys progress in your careers.
you too.
Appreciate it. That wrap things up here in the CT Sports Talent Show. So next time, stay safe. Remember, CT stands for Connecticut Talent. I'm a drink flying the mall. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody, and be well.